I did want to get your reaction to today's GDP figures, which showed that the economy contracted in October by 0.1%. Unexpectedly, it was expected to rise a little bit. What's your reaction to that?
Well, that expectations point is an important point not to miss, because this is worse than people anticipated. But it is also the third in a series of trends of growth getting lower and lower, and now we're in a shrinking economy. And that's a very bad place to be just before we end the year. It's been a bad year for the economy. And a lot of that responsibility rests with the Chancellor. She sowed enormous amounts of doubt and confusion ahead of her budget this year. And of course, last year, she whacked businesses with £40 billion of taxes. So these are the consequences of the Chancellor's decisions, I'm afraid.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people would like a lot faster growth, but it's not all bad, is it? The UK is expected to be the second fastest growing economy in the G7 this year. Plus, there's widespread expectation that the Bank of England will lower the base rate of interest next week as well. So it's not all bad, is it?
Well, I think it's fair. We'll have to wait and see what the Bank of England does. But the US Federal Reserve cut interest rates this week, so there's probably an indication there of what might happen. But the reality on the ground, not a forecast, but the reality on the ground is the economy is shrinking. And a large part of the reason for that is if you tax businesses too much, if you tell working people that you're going to tax them to put more money onto benefits, if you put more regulations on business, if you don't create an environment where people feel if they make efforts that they can share in those rewards, you're not really going to get the right trajectory of growth. I'm afraid the difference between the Conservative Party and the Labour Party is the Labour Party believe the answer to economic growth rests with the government. We believe it's about letting people free to make their decisions to invest and create new businesses and create new jobs.
You were a prominent supporter of Brexit, but some estimates put the cost of the economy of that now at between 6 to 8% of GDP. We've seen the Liberal Democrats now calling for a new customs union to be negotiated. What would your reaction be to that? Would that be good for the economy, do you think?
I think it'd be very bad for the economy. If we're looking for part of the world where economic growth is as bad as we are, perhaps even worse, it would be within the European Union. The European Union has over-regulated itself. It's got a business model that isn't likely to deliver growth so that our children and grandchildren can have a better future. What we should be doing is charting our own course, and that's what leaving the European Union enables us to do, and to create the environment, our own economy, that has the level of taxation that's consistent with economic growth and the level of effort and return for people to go out and work hard, that means that people want to contribute. And that's really in our own hands. It's up to the Prime Minister today and the Chancellor to start using those powers for the betterment of the British people, not looking backwards to say if we tied ourselves again to the EU, would that be the answer? Because clearly it's not.